Hi, my name is Vikram. I'm part of the, you know, first ever India's Bitcoin exchange is what was set up by me in 2013. The idea then it was very clearly nowhere else Indians could buy Bitcoin, and I realized that that was one of the need of the hour, and then we had to make you know an, uh, an exchange come up as quickly as possible because a lot of meetup people who were joining us wanted to buy Bitcoin, and we set up India's first Bitcoin exchange back in 2013. Now it's called the trading platform, Uno Coin trading platform. Since then, I've not looked back. I started another exchange called Insta Crypto back in 2017. It's a little different from the first Uno coin, of course. That's a custodian, and the second one is a non-custodian. Well, that's me. And Adi, would you like to give a couple of lines, and then maybe we can get everybody to speak about themselves?
Sure, Vikram. Thank you. So I work as a developer in Insta Crypto, and also I'm a blockchain developer in a company called Dway. So there we have our own blockchain. It's called Cord. It's a, if you know Polkadot, it's a substrate-based standalone blockchain. We work in the field of decentralized identity. That's pretty much it. Thank you, Vikram. Over to others.
Thank you, Adi. Uh,
Vikram, you're on
Subhanshi.
mute.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hi, Subhanshi. Would you like to introduce yourself and we can start with the presentation?
Uh, yeah, of course. So I'm Subhanshi. I'm from Jaipur. I have been following this group for some time now, on and off. I actually have background in engineering and tech, but I do content writing and I'm interested in crypto and blockchain basically. These days I'm just learning and into that phase of understanding it in sort of better. So that is my priority at this point.
Well, I guess that's great to know you're in the right place. We can talk
Yeah.
about all the things that you want to know because as we see, we're very few people here. Um, I would be quickly going through the presentation, and after that, maybe we can address all the questions that you have.
Yeah.
So cool. We're talking about the centralized fiat versus decentralized cryptocurrency. As we know, the basics of this is that any government currencies are all centralized, means there are a group of people who decide on the number of notes to be floated, amount of currency to be floated, and when they call themselves a difficult situation like your recession time, they have the ability to print more and devalue our currency. So that's the central government's fiat currency. Now, why do we call it fiat? Is because it's not backed by any gold. It used to be back in like maybe a million years ago. Since 1971, at least, it's legally not backed because Richard Nixon from the US, he said, we're not going to print our dollars according to the gold. We're just going to print it according to our wills and fancies because we think our arms and ammunitions are very strong and we are ahead of every other country. We dominate other countries, so we can just do whatever we want. That's the kind of idea that they had and they did. And that's been happening since 1971 legally. But of course, people say that gold was never been accurately backed by the USD from way before even they said that is like at least like 1900s, the beginning of 1900s. So as we can see that the fiat is completely in control of people and can be inflated, it is not necessarily a very good thing for the common public, right? You hold a certain value of your rupees. Only since recently we're using more of a UPI. But if you see, we used to use currency notes, and in the currency notes, if these notes are more and more printed, and you're holding notes that you hold, maybe in the bank or maybe in person, it's going to lose value. So this is just one of the issues that was happening in global finance, and most of these other way of uh, bringing down the value of crypto was going into wars by countries like US, and then printing more and more to support their wars. It was completely like devaluing the existing currency. So those are the things which we saw, and a lot of alternatives trying to come up in the year 90s and early 2000, but everything was crushed by the US government. So finally, Satoshi Nakamoto realized that he has to build something which is really robust and not centralized. That's when the cryptocurrency Bitcoin was born. Once Bitcoin was born, it was clear, everybody understood that it is a decentralized currency. Absolutely no one person or one government or one authority is controlling the production or the control of Bitcoin. It is completely done by the people. Whoever uses Bitcoin, loves Bitcoin, holds Bitcoin, uses Bitcoin, are in control, and also mints Bitcoin. Who are minting Bitcoin? The people who are minting Bitcoin are the miners. They support the network of the Bitcoin to secure the network and also secure your transactions. Because they do that with their hardware, with their hard-earned money, they get the incentives via newly minted Bitcoins. That's been happening since 2009, since its inception of January 6th until today. The early days of Bitcoin, it used to give out, a lot of Bitcoins, 50 Bitcoins for every 10 minutes. So every 4 years that halves. It's been halving 25 to 12, 12 and a half, then 6.25. Now we are at some 3 Bitcoins for every 10 minutes. So that's what the miners get as an incentive for supporting the network. And this is the system of decentralized currency. And that's where there is real, value. Because in a decentralized currency, it doesn't get, hyper inflated and devalued for no reason. Because if you devalue this for a certain necessity, say you're supporting banks and you're, bailing out the banks. Bailing out banks cost you in billions. So you give away billions, but billions of people who are actually below the poverty line, even if they get a small amount, say 1 million people, they could be getting $1,000 each to support them. But instead, no, it's given to one big company, which is a bank, and then billions of dollars have been given to them and devalued the currency. So these kind of issues don't come up with when you have crypto. So one of the things about, of course, the points that what crypto or the fiat has is it's government issued. That value and trust is completely based by the fiat, by the government. Supply and demand is controlled by the government and central authorities, central banks. That I mean, central bank role is big in fiat currencies. So how does a cryptocurrency work? A cryptocurrency, like I said, it's completely outside the control of the banks and the central government. It's a peer-to-peer transaction. So that means if I send my money to somebody in Japan, there is absolutely nobody in between who has to support this transaction. Till today, till 2009, banks had to intervene, or some companies like Western Union had to come in and help people move their money to Japan. But now with cryptocurrency, the blockchain of the cryptocurrency supported by these miners around the world are just the protocol that just makes the transaction happen. So it's P2P. So this is what your crypto is so superior. It's digital in nature, so you don't really see anything to hold or to use. Those points actually make some people back off. But then if you see, the real fiat is also getting into digital format, because we hardly use paper now, and then we use only through via apps or via decentralized via your links. So that way, if you say decentralization will help really well with cryptocurrencies. Security of cryptocurrency is by the miners. Of course, it's very secure. As we can see, there is zero issue that has come up with a blockchain-based cryptocurrency like Bitcoin Cash. That means that if I send my BCH to you in value, if you don't receive it, I will get it back. There is no way that it will be lost or anything like that. So it's absolutely 100% foolproof, decentralized way. The security of it is very high. If you can see, if you have followed crypto from its inception, absolutely no issue with the cryptocurrencies when it's used by yourself, as the security is highly well built. But when you put your cryptocurrency in a third party's hands, like an exchange, and you try and do trading there, the exchange may go down, the exchange may get hacked. That way you may lose your crypto, but otherwise the cryptocurrency security is super duper well, beautifully done. If you see, that's because of one of the reasons why it's so popular and it holds such a value today. If you remember, just like till few days ago, it was quite stable price, and then the price has jumped now. Every time when the price jumps, I tell people that whoever has spoken to me in the past and then asked me what is the security of this and why will it even survive and things like that. So I keep reminding them, see, if you see the price has just gone up, the price only goes up if it is really secure and if it's really valuable. If it is not there, people wouldn't put more money in it. If they have put already and they see that it's not going well, then they'll say, okay, this is not going to be happening, and I'm going to put more money in it. If you don't put more money in it, the value will never go up. If the value is going up, means that everything else is doing perfectly well. So that's the beauty of it, and it's all backed by the blockchain technology that we've learned since 2009, and maybe I would say 2008, because the blockchain technologies white paper was released. Bitcoin white paper was released in October 2008, a few months before its launch. So most of the people who knew, who could understand, read that, understood it, and they said, "Wow, this is a great experiment. We would like to support. We would love to support. I hope it succeeds." And that's what we see. It. The history is showing us it has succeeded. Shall we go next? So cryptocurrencies also have their, I've already mentioned about this. Peer-to-peer transaction is the beauty of the crypto. We don't need any central parties in between. I mean to say human interference, human need in between to move one value to another, one person's value to another person is really not required in this, tech age when we can do everything without the interference of humans in terms of emails. Before, the human interference was post office. Now the human interference is not there in communication. It's similarly in future we will have no human interference in value transfer, and that's what we like, because and that's what we want to do. If we don't do that, your governments become too powerful, because they now have the control of the people, they control their money, and they control the movement of the money. Then that's it. Really, public cannot move forward, because governments will eventually have their interests come in and play every time when we do transactions. So for those reasons, if you see peer-to-peer transaction with crypto is a far superior way we can do a future of money movement. So another beauty of cryptocurrency is the limited supply. It stays as it is promised. It started with, which is cryptocurrency. I mean, Bitcoin Cash. It is clearly at 21 million coins forever. Who can increase the number of coins? Everybody who is using cryptocurrency can increase. I mean to say, specifically that blockchain. If Bitcoin Cash blockchain says it's 21 million coins, and all those people who are using Bitcoin Cash can you know increase it, but will they all agree to increase this with consensus? Of course you can do that, but nobody's going to bring in the consents, because there is no interest for the users to increase the numbers, because if you increase, the value just reduces. Might as well have just 21. With that, the real demand and supply kicks in, and when the real demand kicks in, the value of the cryptocurrencies go up. So we don't need to increase the numbers to get more value. The limited supply itself will gain more value when the demand increases. So the history has shown slowly and steadily the demand does increase, and the price of cryptocurrency like Bitcoin Cash has been growing up, only upwards from the day of inception. Alternative monetary system, it's called an alternative monetary system by everybody. That's how I understood it. I was living in England at the time when I learned about Bitcoin back in 2009. I did not even learn about it when I hear it for the first time. When I saw Bitcoin for the first time, I just ignored it. And then I went on and on. And when I kept on seeing Bitcoin in my research, and slowly and steadily, when I understood points like decentralized and open source, that's when I understood, okay, so this is an alternative monetary system, and we are here to actually bypass the central banks. And the central bank in the UK at that time was too strong. They were creating a lot of hell for the people. They were pushing money only into housing by creating housing bubble. When the bubble crashed, they were getting more slaves. People were like not able to pay back their mortgage, and their mortgage years, which was lasting for 20-25 years, became 35-40 years. So the banks had more slaves. So this is the system what the centralized central banking can do. With an alternative monetary system, which is a decentralized system, it's going to break that monopoly, and then we'll have a free market system around the world. So what is the problems that crypto solved that fiat could not? Lower transaction fee, very important, very useful for the future. We call that micropayments. Micropayments have been a difficulty from a long, long time. because banks cannot support that. Now, if you see, UPI supports micropayments, right? What I mean by that is up to 10 rupees if you send, it goes instantly and it goes free. Can anybody do that without UPI like feature? Absolutely no. We didn't have any other feature unless we meet in person and we exchange 10 rupees. But are we going to meet in person with everybody that we transact with? Say it if they are just outside Bangalore also, even within Bangalore, within your own cities that you guys are living in, if everybody has to take 10 bucks or 100 bucks from you, if you every time has to meet you, then people have to leave their work and keep traveling just to meet people to take money. So that's where UPI comes in really handy. And if you see, UPI can do the small transactions. But can any other system like UPI can be used for international transfers? Absolutely none. If I started a coding business and if I just coded a few lines and I coded like bug fixes, and if I charge just 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees for every bug fix from around the world, they find it very difficult to pay me because for small amounts is a very high fee to pay to the banks to get it quickly. Forget slowly. Quick means even less than 1 day is going to be very very expensive. But if you see in cryptocurrency, it can do instant payments, it can do global payments, and it can do small payments. Those are the lower transaction costs. Properties that can help communities develop. Communities get built on micropayments. Monetary policy and inflation, very nicely done. Inflation is something that has to be controlled. And in a cryptocurrency world, inflation is very well controlled if you see because the numbers cannot jump. Transparency, yes, every blockchain is very clearly transparent until, uh, it is not. Some people think Bitcoin is anonymous transaction. No, it is not. Bitcoin transactions are called pseudonymous in nature. That means if you profile someone, it is easy to find out the transactions. And if you are open about your transactions, you can just tell this is my transaction and it is clearly visible. It's just that address and the name is not linked. That can be found out through profiling. But if you give your information, it is clearly transparent. Those are the things we want. We don't want like 100% completely, anonymous transaction where then it's really difficult to, control all your illegal ways of using money. That's why I promote a your non-transparent you don't promote non-transparent. Promote transparent ones like the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. The reason because then people are motivated to not use it for bad things. You should use it for only good things. Even the money, right? Dollars and rupees, the paper fiat that we use. 99% of people use it for the real commerce, but a small percentage of group use it for bad things. But we don't know that the most of the bad jobs have been done with the greenback, the US dollar, because they pay in person. Any other way you can control it, but with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash blockchain system transactions, people before used to say, "Oh, it's a completely anonymous, only be used by the criminals." No, it's not like that. It's completely transparent. Okay, let's go next. Also, the crypto is used for it's a decentralized trust system. Uh, Crypto brings in financial inclusion. That's one of the very amazing topics. Financial inclusion has been going on from a long time, and still banks are not able to really bring in everybody into their financial system. Still, a lot of people, a lot of places have to use currencies like fiat, like paper notes only. With financial inclusion through crypto, it'll be much more easier because all they need is a phone. Unlike today, the banks have to go and set up their bank branches there and ATM machines. Only then they'll including everybody. But with cryptocurrency, with this just their existing phone and the data connection, they're able to get onto the services that the banks provide. That's a very good, feature that cryptocurrencies solve for the future. Because as we know, financial inclusion has been a hot topic in the finance world from a long, long time, and the banks find it really hard to bring in everybody onto the ladder. Next is the cross-border transaction. As I mentioned, cross-border transactions are very, very crucially important because we are in India. Because in India is so big that we are. It's a world in itself. So we find our business needs solved within India. But for a lot of countries abroad, they always do cross-border transactions, especially small islands. When they're doing cross-border transactions, they need cheaper, instant, and reliable network, and that's what cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin Cash, especially gives you. Nobody else does as good as Bitcoin Cash. Western Union and all of those companies do transactions of cross border, but man, they charge you a lot of money. Especially if you want it instantly, they charge a lot of money. So I'll give you an example what has been happening in past 1 year. Saint Kitts, Nevis, and your Saint Martin are those two small islands in the Caribbean. We launched cryptocurrency of Bitcoin Cash there. We made Bitcoin Cash very popular there. We made everybody accept Bitcoin Cash and use Bitcoin Cash. So what happened within a few months is that when we also had this one person from the ministry, from the politics, who helped us. And after a few months, what happened was the finance minister of that island was traveling, and she noticed something which she had never seen before. So she came back to this minister and she said, "What is that you brought this Bitcoin Cash into our system? It's helped our island. I don't see so many people standing outside Western Union queuing up nowadays." So what has happened there is a lot of people understood that Bitcoin Cash can do same this Western Union kind of help in terms of transactions doing cross border, and the fees is much lower than Western Union. Western Union can go up to 20% easily that they can charge, and with Bitcoin Cash, max to max like 3% or 4% within that amount of cost, you're able to send and receive money, do a cross border transactions. This is like the beauty of cryptocurrency. And since we sit here in India and we don't see these features, we think that these features are not important. Actually, it's very important. It's exactly like how we have UPI. If we take out UPI today and we had to go back to the old system of using card and cash, what kind of difficulty we will see? We know it. The day when we doesn't UPI doesn't work itself, we can see that we have a difficulty paying people. So that's what the outside people have. The people who live abroad outside the Indian scenario. So for them, these kind of systems are very useful, and this will be continuing to solve more and more cross-border transactions. We can go next, Adi. So that's where crypto is superior to fiat currencies. Today's your presentation was a little bit more quicker, but of course I would love to take questions and maybe answer those questions. It'd be so much better because then I will be answering your specific understanding and specific questions that you have a doubt with. Is anyone who want to start? Just unmute yourself and you can shoot your question.
Yeah, hi Vikram. Hello.
Hi, Janvi.
Yeah, hi Vikram. I have a question. I work for Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So there we integrated this crypto section in our app, our Comsi app. Okay, so this is the Australia bank for which I am working right now.
Okay.
But a few days back we had a notification that there is some fraud going on due to this crypto thing. So we have to disable that feature. So we had to wind that up, and then we had to disable that feature within a rollback of 1 day. So what is that fraud that is happening due to this crypto thing? Like I never heard about this thing with our normal flow, like with the cash and everything with that. But with the integration of this thing, like we were facing lots of issues, and I heard that there is a lots of transactional issues happened, and there was some fraud due to this. So if you can explain me a bit about that.
So first of all, Janvi, wherever that you're working in, those people
Mm-hmm.
are not explained to you completely. They've just they just like asked you to just dive inside the water and then, support yourself. What I mean by that is they told you that yes, there's cryptocurrency being included. Now they just suddenly removed it, but they did
Yeah.
not train you, they did not explain you, and they did not give you a clarity of what has been going on. So the
Yeah.
clarity of what crypto has been going on is there are a very few, less than 0.1% of cryptos in this world are actually decentralized and distributed network. Rest everything else, 99.999% of the cryptos that you hear are all centralized. Means there is a group or one person who launches this coin. He can increase the numbers of coin and hyperinflate the coin. He can control the coin transactions. He can use this currency of his own to do bad things and pay for illegal transactions. So those are the ones which has made your company stop transactions in crypto. But they actually didn't even tell you even once there are some cryptocurrencies which are completely decentralized, say like Bitcoin Cash. They are completely out of anybody's control. So with Bitcoin Cash being transparent, which I was telling you just now, you can easily track these things down. what is the real currency that is globally being used for bad and illegal things and all illegal activities being paid through? Do you know which currency that is?
No, I'm not aware about it.
Globally biggest currency that is used for all the illegal things is the US dollar. But has the Australian bank of yours stopped the US dollar? Absolutely not. They still allow US dollar. They still let the US dollar come in and go into their country. Why do they do that? Is because they have no other choice and they don't understand economics as well. And also the third point is a control from the West, from New York, that that currency has to be used no matter what. It is centralized, so it has its ups and downs and its use of for money laundering and for illegal activities. But then instead of fixing, they cannot just ban it, right? So they have not banned it. That means they're trying to fix it. It's exactly how cryptocurrencies also work. If you don't understand cryptocurrency, you will see that every time it has been used for illegal activities. But if you know what cryptocurrencies to be used and how it works and how it functions, then you will understand cryptocurrencies are better than the company that you're working for. The company that you're working for just works with fiat currency. It's not necessarily enough for today's world. It's like post office telling, oh, email is going to send all bad pornographic images. Let's stop it. Can you not send it for the post office? Yes, you can send it putting in an envelope. It may take a long time for you to reach and receive and use it, but at the end of the day, uh, uh, anything can happen, right? But then you should explain people why you brought in cryptocurrency and why you stopped. Even if you stop all the cryptocurrencies, I'm glad they did, but they should explain you that there are some certainly like Bitcoin Cash, which is very, very highly useful for the future, and it is working. If you go to Townsville in northeast of your country in Australia, Townsville is a big place for Bitcoin Cash. It's a lot of people accepting Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash economy is really big. So more information has to be given to you, more training. Since you yourself made an effort to come and understand that here, I may not be able to give you all the information with my limited time. Whatever that I tell you, please go and research a little bit more, and then you will know
Sure.
what is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Hi guys, is there anybody else who want
Yeah,
to shoot a question?
yeah, yeah. So I actually have two questions regarding um, first is regarding the low transaction cost as you were discussing. I actually have been attending like I've been into Web3 and trying to understand how that works. And what I've come across is that most of the miners in Web3 industry, I lately found them complaining about the high gas fee. And I mean, I might be wrong, so I just want to understand that
No, you're completely right. I'll go one by one. I'm sorry to cut you off here because your point is very valid point that you mentioned, and that's the first question that you mentioned. I'd like to explain that so it's easier for people also to understand. So the point
yeah,
that you said was lower transaction fee, and what you experience in Web3 as high transaction fee, high gas fee. It's exactly the same.
yeah,
Why high gas fee is because it's working on Ethereum. So the smart contracts that you're trying to deploy on Web3 are all on Ethereum right now, and other coins which hold very high fee for transactions. So the same kind of DeFi is getting built on Bitcoin Cash now. Bitcoin Cash developers understand economics much better than the other coins developers. Other coin developers are there to make their business work and to make money. So while they're making money, they're trying to forget that when you reduce the transaction fees, when more people can transact. But they lost that point in the beginning when they set up. And Ethereum being one of the major currencies being used, their system is so difficult now to make that transaction gas fee low because that cannot be fixed is why we have Bitcoin Cash developed that way. So when you have there are many cryptocurrencies. So some cryptocurrencies, just think about many banks. When one bank may charge you less fee than the other bank. So think about Bitcoin Cash as the bank which charges you the least amount of fee. The developers have set it in a way that any amount of transaction to anywhere you do in value, small or big, it will take you just one Satoshi per byte in terms of the size of the transaction. Your in real value, your Bitcoin Cash fees is somewhere around 1 to 3 paise. So 1 to 3 paise, I can pay to even send 1 rupee, but nobody sends 1 rupee. For 10 rupees, it works very well. Similarly, if you see in Bitcoin itself, just the difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, in Bitcoin, it takes up to 50 to 500 rupees in today's time. When the bull run happens, when the value of cryptocurrency is going up, when everybody's excited about cryptocurrency and the bull run is happening, in the past, in 2021, Bitcoin has shown that the fees can jump, and also Ethereum for that matter, has shown that the fees can jump up to $1,000. I'm talking about 80,000 rupees people have paid in fee. So this is like one of those things about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. That's why Bitcoin Cash development has come to a stage where at any point of time people should find Bitcoin Cash useful for people to use. So the fees is fixed. It's not like other chains. When the chains get busy, the fees becomes more expensive. It's never like that. The protocol of Bitcoin Cash is set to support all the small transactions and small fees. In future, all the Web3 kind of platforms will be built on Bitcoin Cash blockchain, which is already happening. And once people start using it and have both alternatives, then you realize the gas fee higher is not going to work for you, and the lower gas fee one, which is Bitcoin Cash, lower satoshis in fee, will work well.
Okay. So, are you like aware of systems that are working on Bitcoin Cash in Web3?
Yes,
And
that's still in the beginning nascent stage. I can definitely. Adi, would you like to bring in some information on that if you know?
Sorry, could you please repeat your question?
Any existing methods on Bitcoin Cash which work similar to Web3? Or please
So you're
explain your
talking,
question some more, one
so
once more.
sorry.
I was just telling Subhanshi, if you want to share the question again to Adi.
Yeah, that would be great.
yeah, so I was asking if you're aware of any systems right now working, like he said that Web3 is right now working on Ethereum, and in future it would be Bitcoin Cash because of the low gas fees, and it has already started. So, I mean, are there anything or is there anything currently in the market that is existing right now on the Bitcoin Cash sort of framework? Or is it is there something currently in real like right now that exists on the cash framework?
So I'll tell you about the technology that is similar to what Ethereum offers, which is there on Bitcoin Cash. It's called the cash tokens. Cash tokens is similar to your Ethereum smart contracts. So the thing is, you can build anything that you can build on Ethereum. So, and the benefit is it costs a lot to deploy a smart contract and to interact with smart contract on Ethereum. But when you have developed an application on Bitcoin Cash using this cash token technology, your fees would be like really low, like around 0.02 rupees for now.
Okay, cool.
Also, I have just sent you a message. If you see this BCH
Yeah,
Zapit wallet, there is
yeah.
a wallet that has already been built called Zapit wallet, which you can hold and send and receive your Bitcoin Cash on it. And within the wallet, there is a system that is set up. It's a escrow system for P2P exchange. So
Okay.
that's completely out of anybody's control. It is controlled by the DeFi system, decentralizing finance, like the one that you said, like Web3. So in P2P exchange, what happens is you have your Bitcoin Cash and you want to change it to rupees. So your Bitcoin Cash automatically gets locked on a P2P platform, and the escrow is locked by the system itself. And once the other party pays you in rupees and you happily receive the rupees and you say yes, you have received the rupees, the P2P platform will release the coins to the person who sent. Till that time, the escrow was completely sitting on the blockchain format, where no human being had to come in and control the escrow.
Yeah, right, right.
So
Okay,
you can
yeah,
download the Zapit wallet and check out the features. And the
yeah.
P2P feature is one of the beautiful features that's been built on the first ever, I would say, complicated escrow that is built on the system without the need of any humans.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. And just on a last note, just a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been working towards understanding this thing more. Are there any free open source resources that you can suggest for understanding blockchain better? The ones that I've come up across right now are either not either not free, or either otherwise they're not I mean, I've not come across anything concrete good right now, or it might be that maybe
Okay.
just I'm mixing stuff up.
I
Yeah.
think to
So,
start with, just
sorry,
look
sorry.
for BCH, Bitcoin Cash documentation and Bitcoin Cash's protocol
Yeah,
written
yeah, I
down.
did. Yeah, I did. I've checked out their website and read stuff over there, but I kind of um, struggled with understanding the basics of it. I mean, I sort of like the basic part of exchange, like the whole basics of how does the blockchain work, and I've been understanding that part, but sort of somewhere in that zone, I think that if something that can help me, and like any book or something you can suggest reading.
Sure, sure. I think Adi has an answer for you. Let's
Yeah,
get Adi.
so if you want to learn about how the basics of blockchain, how does blockchain work, how do blocks get added, about the cryptography part, mathematics. So if you want to learn about all those things, I can share a book on the Telegram group. Are you in the Telegram group, Insta Crypto Telegram group?
Yeah, yes, I am. Yeah.
Sure, sure. I'll definitely send a book over there.
Yeah.
Also, I'm involved in the community called the Phoenix Guild. So all across India and abroad, we conduct these sessions on blockchain, and we conduct basic level, intermediate level, and expert level events, which includes workshops and hackathons, things like that. So if you are interested, please do let me know, and you can give access to that as well. And to learn about the basics of the blockchain, there's a wonderful book. It's called Mastering Blockchain. So it takes
Yes. Is
takes
it? Sorry, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Sorry, you were saying something.
No, no, go ahead. It's okay.
Yeah, so that is a wonderful book, which I really prefer if you really want to understand the basics. It's a very nice book.
Okay, okay, cool. So I mean, as of right now, I am. I mean, I don't know the book that you are specifically talking about,
Sure.
but right now I am studying one book, and that kind of. I think it's written like the front page. There's a bull, and it's written by Melanie.
So
I
you're
think.
talking about mastering Bitcoin, right?
So like Bitcoin comes after blockchain, right? I mean, first you'll have to understand and work on blockchain, right? Before
So I would say Bitcoin is the implementation of blockchain technology.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'll share the book that I was talking about. You can read that book. It's a really nice book, which gives you the understanding about how a blockchain works,
Okay.
the consensus is achieved, how does those algorithms work, things like that.
Okay.
Just to give you a outline of it, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash are exactly the same. So the past Bitcoin related or blockchain related information that you get before 2017, mostly in 2011, 12, there's a very good place for you to find that is here. I'll just give you that. Maybe you can put in some links, Adi, when you think of where you found some information from.
Sure, sure.
So this bitcointalk.org was the platform forum for everybody to talk about Bitcoin since 2009 till like say till today. But today you will not find that kind of clear information now. It's distorted. It's everywhere. It's many places. But before it was all on this group, and everybody who's talking about Bitcoin on this group till 2013 were talking exactly what Bitcoin Cash is doing today. So what happened with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash is there was a small split, and in the split, people who believed that Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin is like UPI. See, now there is a small difference. We know in our financial world we use UPI also and credit cards also. But is UPI used more or credit card is used more? Absolutely, UPI is used more.
Yeah.
And for small transactions, UPI is the only way. Because credit cards you cannot use for small transactions because the places where we use for small transactions, I mean to say a chai wala on the roadside, he's not going to have a credit card POS machine. So he uses UPI. So like that, UPI is more popular that way because it's accepted everywhere. It's easy to accept and it's a small transaction fee and it's instant. So that's where Bitcoin Cash comes in. So this is the split that happened in 2017. People who understood Asia, India, and Africa, they kept on pushing in the group saying that Bitcoin should be bigger in terms of block size so that more people can transact and cheaper for transactions. But no, some of the rich people in the West said, no, Bitcoin is for us. We would like to hold Bitcoin with just 1 MB space. And I don't mind paying high fee to do my transaction. So what did they do? They made Bitcoin as an asset class and Bitcoin Cash became the real currency of the world. Because when you move in currency, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you are paying only like say $5. When you're paying $5, you cannot pay $5 as fee, you should be paying less than 1 cent as fee. That's what Bitcoin Cash brings in. And both the blockchains are 21 million Bitcoins forever. That's how it works. And the history of Bitcoin Cash is been will be found on the bitcointalk.org platform. In that forum, if you see a lot of points that we were talking about Bitcoin before reflects about Bitcoin Cash today.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I
of
will
course,
do that.
like Adi mentioned, the basics is the Bitcoin white paper. It has more information than any other.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Thanks.
Pleasure. Hello, we have a new person, Arua.
Hey,
Hey, where are you joining from?
Kazakhstan,
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Nice, nice. You have any questions about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin Cash, especially?
No, I'm just curious.
Cool. It's nice to have you, my man. You have any questions? You're free to shoot your questions, write your question here, or you can say it.
My only question: why people don't buy Bitcoin Cash?
Well, that question was, you're late to that question. 2 days ago, you could have asked this question. But since last 2 days, the price of Bitcoin and cash is going up. So definitely people are going to buy now. So what has happened in the past to now is most number of people who joined the cryptocurrency space, they came in because of the price. And because the price is not fluctuating and increasing, they're not interested in buying now. But of course, the price will shoot up. If you understand cryptocurrency, how it functions, every 4 years is where the bull run happens. The first bull run, the real, like before 2013, there were many small bull runs, but 2013 was the biggest bull run. 17 was the next bull run. 21 was the bull run. Similarly, 25 again will be a bull run because 1 year before the bull run, there was a halving year. So that means the release of bitcoins to the public, to the miners, was reducing every 4 years. As soon as it reduces, the shoot of the price happens because there are less in circulation and more people to buy. Automatically, the price goes up and more buyers come in. When more buyers come in, the remaining buyers who are not actually buying, they have this. They come up with this called FOMO, fear of missing out, and they also come in and put money. So that's the way the bull run happens, and that happens once in 4 years. So what you said was why people are not buying. This is not the right time. Now the price of cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin Cash, is going very slowly. And in 2025, of course, then you cannot control the price of it. And also with Bitcoin Cash, the idea of Bitcoin Cash is more to be used by the people. So using Bitcoin Cash by the people is not 100% adopted yet. But if you see, use of Bitcoin Cash for trading is 100%, almost 100% adoption is there because everybody who's doing trading knows about cryptocurrencies. As an asset, I would say not maybe 100%, but 100% use case in payments, it's not happened yet, including India. If you see in India, nobody uses Bitcoin Cash for making payments because everybody finds UPI more useful because UPI is there instantly with you on your phone and you're used to it, so you use that. But if you stop UPI, automatically, if you see then Bitcoin Cash will be automatically used by everybody, and then the price will never stop then you will be saying why price is never stopping. The price will keep climbing up because still it's completely globally adopted. If it is completely globally adopted, I think each Bitcoin Cash's price will be good somewhere around half a billion in USD. I'm talking about in USD, Bitcoin Cash price will go up to 500 million by the end of the whole world's adoption. Yes, Shubham, there will be, like Adi said, the recording will be posted on the Insta Crypto group on YouTube. You'll be able to watch it from the beginning, what's happened. And it's a small presentation. The presentation has been repeated, so there are other videos also the past that you'll be able to go through to learn about it.
What are your views on Bitcoin Cash versus Ethereum? These two economies.
Very nice question. So these two economies work on cryptocurrencies platform. Before Ethereum was proof of work, similarly what Bitcoin Cash is today, but Ethereum has moved from proof of work to proof of stake. So what happened with that is proof of work means then you are allowing computers to take control of the transactions and the minting and the security of the network. Now they conveniently moved from proof of work to proof of stake on Ethereum. And proof of staking is not 100% accurate and 100%. I'd say it's debatable, but why I'm saying that is not 100% to me is because you're giving the information, you're giving the power back to people. In proof of work, the power was with the systems, with the computers, and with proof of staking, it the control of Ethereum has gone back to people. People who hold high number of Ethereum have the power to support the network, and with the stakers is where the transactions happen and things like that. So that economy of the base economy of Ethereum being proof of stake has spoiled the taste of Ethereum for me. And for those who understand what I'm saying, purely no, proof of staking is not as good as proof of work. Proof of work is what made cryptocurrency famous. Proof of work was what made Ethereum famous till NFT was becoming popular. But of course, with proof of staking, those things will not happen again. You will not see any real commerce use case or publicly loving product like NFTs was a great product with Ethereum. Those kind of scenarios will not happen again. When you compare that to Bitcoin Cash still runs on proof of work. The idea of Bitcoin Cash will never change from proof of work to anything. If it did, then I will quit because that's what makes proof of work makes cryptocurrency safe, secure, and 100% accurate. Otherwise, tomorrow I may do a transaction. I may not be sure if one of the person didn't like my transaction and they want to stop my transaction. So in Bitcoin Cash, because it is proof of work, only the computers work, and computers are not biased to anybody. So rich, poor, from Africa or Asia or US, it's going to make sure the transactions are complete and it's time stamped accordingly. So that's the beauty of Bitcoin Cash. And if you see those two coins, Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash, each will have its own time. Ethereum's time has almost come and gone because its time was the bull run when the NFTs became popular. Now, if you see, NFTs are much more cheaply built and used on Bitcoin Cash. So the time for Bitcoin Cash will come. When it comes, it will stay that way. What I mean by that is because it is waiting for a long time and is building a better base in Bitcoin Cash, the currency will have a better use case in the future, unlike Ethereum, where it was a sudden jump. And now, because of the sudden jump, even the US government controlled it through making it proof of stake. So in future, Ethereum is not going to be used in payments and settlements and value transfer. It will only be used as a showpiece, sitting there as an asset, or some exchanges holding it for you to help you trade. But then it is only sitting in exchanges. It's not used as payments and settlements and money. That's where Bitcoin Cash comes in. It's going to be used globally. And as you yourself mentioned that gas fees are higher, who would use Ethereum as a UPI like feature? Nobody. UPI like feature will only be used by Bitcoin Cash now in future. And no other currencies I see are as so robust as Bitcoin Cash is and makes small payments and micro payments and instant payments. Instant is also one of the very good point. I know Ethereum does instant, but sometimes your Ethereum does not do instant transaction. You wait for a long time. and then the transaction even get rejected because just at the time you paid zero point 0.1 gas fee less and you made a mistake, and then it just spoils your taste. In Bitcoin Cash, it never happens that way. Bitcoin Cash always timestamps whenever you send the transaction, always going to get completed, and like how cryptocurrency should be, it has to be 100%. It's based on mathematics. So Bitcoin Cash works better on that base of mathematics.
Yeah. Okay.
No problem, Janvi. Have a nice evening. I think she's already left. So anyway, Shubham. So, Shubham, in terms of exiting, I think Ethereum-based products should be exited quickly before it loses its value, because the Ethereum's real bull run will come only in 25. We don't know if that lasts till then. But of course, there are a lot of other platforms are coming up with better features, like to start with just Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is cash token, and the developments that's happening on the blockchain are very robust, and it's here to stay. They're not going to just lose, its shine just like the way Ethereum lost. So if you see all of these, oh my God, I was muted. I don't even remember if I answered Shubham's thing. Did you hear it?
Hello.
Hi, Adi. I explained
Yeah.
what Shubham had messaged. I hope we got to hear
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know how it got muted then.
But I was able to hear you, Shubham. I think.
Yes, he did. He was just messaged.
Wait.
So, guys, any other questions you have?
No, nothing. Thanks for the session.
It- It's my pleasure. You're more than welcome. If not today, the next meetup also you can join. And if you have more questions about that after your research, please bring in your questions. We would love to answer those questions which people have researched themselves. Like when they have researched and they find some difficulties where understanding of some points of it, we are very happy to help, because this is exactly how I learned, and I've been helping people learn. For me, in the beginning days, I could.
You're
Oh,
on mute.
why is it going on to mute? Is somebody able to mute my thing? Adi, can you try muting my? Okay, no worries. So I was just saying, yes, that do come back in the next session, and if you have some questions after you research, we are happy to answer. And mostly for me, I love people when they come in with their own research and they have very few questions, because their questions then will be completely in depth, because they would have researched. When I answer their question, also they can counter me and ask me, because what they read is different. They can ask me those things. So that's when I can elaborate, because in crypto space, what has happened is the information is very distorted around the world. This has happened because of the Western powers. The New York Central Bank, which is Federal Reserve, do not allow cryptocurrencies to flourish nicely. That's one of the reasons why the lady from Australia also was saying that, because what they try to do is they just try to integrate it and then just remove it, and they'll say it was a bad experience, but they do not actually explain to you what was that real bad experience. They're trying to, get people not to believe in it, so that these things happen. So you think, oh yeah, our company also tried and didn't allow crypto to be added for a reason, because I'm sure they have checked that it's not 100% foolproof or something. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to distort information about cryptocurrencies around the world. We will have to find ways to find the right way and adopt. So if you are thinking what is going to be the next big crypto currencies, it is going to be Bitcoin Cash, no doubt about that. Why I say that is because clearly we have an example of UPI. UPI became so successful, and all the other countries outside India are also wanting to have UPI. Is exactly what Bitcoin Cash does. And Bitcoin Cash does without any central authority. In UPI, you have NPCI, National Payments Council of India, that controls UPI. Means in tomorrow UPI can be removed or made with higher fee or lower fee, whatever, that changes can be done by NPCI. With Bitcoin Cash, nobody can suddenly change anything. If any development was to be done, they write the code and they promote it with all the Bitcoin Cash users, miners and nodes, and everybody reads that and then understands this is the development that we can do. And if it is good or bad, it'll be debated. We will have 6 months of time to insert that inside. So till that time, we can debate it, and only if it is nice, we can insert it. That's the beauty of decentralized systems. So tomorrow's world is off going to be BCH. And also, there in economic way, there's also a clear history that is shown. Anything that works nicely as money becomes a store of value without a doubt. What I mean by that, if it works really nice as money, it's just gold. Gold used to be the money till 1950s, just like 60, 70, 80 years ago. Gold was the money because we would do business with only people that we would meet. We didn't have internet, so we never used online business and meeting, doing business with people online. We always did business with people who we met in person. So when we used to do that, we used to always use gold as our exchange. I know we use a lot of other things like tobacco, paper, seashells, feathers, anything a little bit rare, we used it. But the most rare product in this world that has become most popular is the gold. And when gold was used more as money, automatically it became a store of value, because if your money, which is gold or seashells, both you have, if one of the money is been mostly accepted than shells, because you're near the seashore maybe, and shells will not be accepted as well as gold. So because gold was accepted more, people started holding gold, and gold became the asset too, because whatever is used very well, people like to store that. People would like to store their money in that. That's what becomes a real store of value. So today Bitcoin Cash is showing its power, that it can be used globally, it can be used by anyone and everyone. It does cheap transactions, simple amounts, like in few pases. If you're able to do transaction, you would do many transactions, just like your UPI, because it's free. We pay in 10 rupees, 5 rupees also, some people. But if as soon as there is a fee, say there is a fee of 5 rupees, we will think twice to pay 10 rupee transaction. We may pay 500 rupee transaction, but anything less than 200 rupees, we may think, 5 rupee fee is high. So that's where the calculation comes in. In Bitcoin Cash, the fees is in cents, it's below 1 cent. In Indian rupee, it is about 3, 4 paise. So when it is so little, you will do more and more transaction, and that will catch up better than any other currency. I've gone through many, many. I've started with Bitcoin at the time when Bitcoin was the only currency. Well, when I bought Bitcoin in 2011, yes, there was Litecoin also, because Litecoin had just started in 2010. I did buy Litecoin also. But when I see the use case of those two coins has changed, and what is developed to be better and better every day from 2009 or 10 to today, is Bitcoin Cash. And without Bitcoin Cash, I don't see a crypto future. So the economics plays a big role, and if you understand better economics from the history, you should know that the reasons why gold became popular, reasons why fiat was pushed on people, reasons what has happened in the history has helped humans, like, to do transactions and things. The internet came along and it made it easy for people to do communication. When we do easy communication, uh, our commerce goes faster. What I mean by that, say, if I built one table with my wood, locally built, locally sourced wood, and that's not available anywhere else. How do I sell that to the whole world? I have to take a picture, put it in the post, and send it to people abroad. And if it's only one table, until unless I receive a message back from that person that I'm mailed to, I cannot sell it to anybody else, because that guy may say yes, I will buy it, and he may send a token advance. I have to wait for that post, for that snail mail to come back to me. But because internet came, I can take a picture and send it instantly. That guy can instantly see it and say yes or no. If he says no, I can send this picture to somebody else. Within half an hour, I may be able to strike a deal for my table. But in the post office time, it may have taken 30 days. So when 30 days can drop to 30 minutes in business, what helps you drop the receiving of value? So today, the transaction, also your commerce, selling a table happens very quickly. But if the person paid you from abroad via your bank, it's going to take up to 4 to 7 days to receive the money. If he pays higher fee, you will receive it in one day. But still, one day is a long time. If he sends it on a Friday night and Saturday, Sunday, banks don't work, I will get it only Monday morning. That's very late. When your communication to sell the product is so quick, why take so much time to receive the money? Because the later that I receive, the late I will be able to set up a new table, because I will not be able to buy my local sourced wood to make the table again. Because I don't have money, I have to wait. So this is the difficulty that gets fixed by cryptocurrency, because now the transaction of your value is also instant. So your commerce is going to be doubles faster than what emails have shown or the internet has shown. Internet has shown commerce can be fast, but with cryptocurrency adopted globally, you will see the commerce will be much faster. Post office didn't have so much control. Because of that, they did not fight against the internet and the email system. They allowed it to happen. For those reasons, we have emails and internet and messaging service much more quicker. But the banks today have too much power. They're above the government. Just because they hold that paper in their thing, अरे रद्दी रख के तुम इतना उड़ रहे हो, tomorrow crypto will come and take you down. It's just like the way the post office is. Post office doesn't have any power today, unlike the way they had power 30 years ago. Just 30 years ago, I remember how post office used to be powerful. They could just say anything to the customers. People just listen to it and then just keep quiet. But today, post office don't have that power. It's exactly how banks have the power today. Within a few years, we're going to remove that power from them and distribute the power to the people through cryptocurrency, especially through Bitcoin Cash. The frequency of these meetups is once a month. Before, we should do twice a week. It's dropped down to once a month now. It's mostly online. We're going to be soon doing a physical meetup again. But if you're in Bangalore, yes, we can definitely meet. But otherwise, yes, I'm still going to continue doing this once a month online. So we will definitely be able to see you again. It's actually, well, I'll make it easy for you. It's every fourth Friday of the month. Fourth Friday of the month at 4:30 p.m. Well, that's from me, guys. You have any more questions, message, or unmute and speak. Otherwise, we can call it a day in about a couple of minutes. Adi used to have some messages from other groups. Any other group has messaged you anything? So one of these Telegram group is saying, "Is this Vikram really genuine or not?" They're thinking it's some legit, not legit person, because I don't message their most often, not very frequently as they do it. But I actually just sent a link. So like that, if you have any of the groups message, you can share here. We can take that question. Okay. So we can call it a day. It was really nice. Thank you very much, all of you, to attend the event. And like success of this, we will definitely have more and more meetups coming in. I know we have less people. I would say less people is better, because everything of your questions can be answered. When there are too many people, most of the people's questions is left behind. It's also a good thing that more questions mean more information for people. But but yes, that was a really nice event, though. Thank you very much, guys.